What is going on, everybody? Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is John. Today I have for you a big box good. That's right, today we're going to be taking a look at 3 different t-shirts I picked up at Macy's for $20 each. Today we're going to be doing a first impressions. We're going to compare each of these shirts. We're going to talk about the quality of them, what I like about them, what I dislike about them. We are also going to compare them and talk about some of the differences as well as the similarities. And last but not least, we will be trying these shirts on for ourselves. 2 shirts here are an extra large and 1 shirt is an extra large. These are pretty cool and interesting t-shirts, ones that I can see being worn a variety of different ways, which is the reason why I chose the extra large and the extra large, so you can get a good idea as to how each shirt fits differently. Let's go ahead and get into this unboxing and first impressions, and stick around till the end of the video to see me try these shirts on. Okay, so here in front of us are 3 fun and interesting t-shirts I picked up at Macy's for $20 each. I do think it's a little bit high for a shirt like this, especially for brands that are no longer popular, like Polaroid, for example. Even though they are still in business, you can still buy a Polaroid camera. They are not as popular as they used to be. You've got Kodak, which is a brand that no longer exists, right? Or a company that no longer exists. And last but not least, we have a shirt from Mickey Mouse here. This is a Disney shirt. I think one thing you'll notice here is everything mainly is to do with media and entertainment. Polaroid, Kodak, Disney, who makes movies. But I digress. I went to Macy's under the impressions that I would walk out or at least spend $60 on a single item. Instead, I spent $60 on 3 items. And just to keep it consistent, I bought the same 3 items. Of course, you can buy other things. They have shoes and other types of clothing. But one thing I just quickly want to point out about Macy's is that it has changed quite a bit in the last 5 or 6 years. They no longer have a focus on some of the more expensive, more premium, more popular brands that we're used to seeing, like Tommy Hilfiger or Lacoste, for example. They do still sell Ralph Lauren, and I'm sure they sell the other brands as well, but there is no longer a focus on those brands. Instead, you'll find smaller brands, which is good because they'll be less expensive, but then again, I think the designs and the quality are going to be a little bit left to be desired. Not that this is going to be low quality or a little bit left to be desired, but I think just to preface this video, I quickly want to talk about just the type of store Macy's has become. And it's actually good to see. But let's go ahead and get into the differences between these t-shirts and try them on, because I do like them and I think you will like them too. So let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, so let's start with our extra large t-shirts. Now, at the beginning of the video, I was saying $20 is a little bit expensive, but looking at these t-shirts, they are really nice quality. I was dogging Macy's earlier that they don't sell as good of quality as items as they used to. They are lower brands than, say, Ralph Lauren or Izod or Tommy Hilfiger, but I think you're going to get more interesting options now that those brands are not the focus of the store or the customers who shop there. So what I really love about this Mickey Mouse t-shirt is it looks like a retro Nike Air t-shirt, like something you would pick up to match with your Nike shoes and wear with a pair of jeans out. It definitely has a youthful, modern, futuristic, forward-looking aspect, I think. Just due to the colors here, I think these greens and pinks and reds and yellows contrast sharply with the fire engine red and the sort of pitch black and stark white of the Mickey Mouse. Green, orange, yellow, these are neon colors, as you can see, mixed with these interesting graphics of squiggly lines and graphs. What you can also tell here is that the framing of Mickey is actually rotated slightly, a few degrees. And I think another thing you'll notice here is the Mickey name is actually flipped upside down underneath the graphic. And as you can see in cursive yellow here, it does say mouse. So Mickey Mouse. Really cool and interesting looking t-shirt. I think it looks phenomenal. It does look like a Nike t-shirt just without the Nike logos, which would actually make a really cool contrast if you did match this with a pair of Nikes, but I digress. Like I was saying earlier, I think these are great quality t-shirts. Maybe not ones that you would wear all the time, but ones that you can definitely count on to have for maybe a couple of years. Keep them in your drawer, use them around the house, snuggled up in your PJs on the couch, doing yard work, going to the gym, things like that. As you can see, I do have them in extra large here. Like I was saying, I think you'll want to wear these around the house and do yard work in them and sweat in them. What I really like is this thick cotton material here. It's not even transparent. That's how thick it is. That also, I think, speaks of the durability of this t-shirt as well. As you can see, no threads or pulls or tears. This is a phenomenal looking t-shirt. Let's go ahead and look at the Polaroid t-shirt. Okay, so one of the points I want to bring over from the Mickey Mouse t-shirt is the quality of the fabric itself. As you can see, it's a thick, dark fabric. You cannot see through this. It might be a little bit too thick to work out in or do yard work in. It might cause you to sweat and be a little bit hot, especially if you're wearing this black Polaroid t-shirt or the yellow Kodak t-shirt. I think the gray Mickey Mouse t-shirt would be better for that. But I think another difference you'll probably notice here is the cotton material itself. This here is much softer. It's a thicker pile, as where on the Mickey Mouse t-shirt, it was a little bit rougher. It had more texture to it, but then again, I think it was actually more durable and a little bit more resistant to scratches and tears. So there is a difference here between the way you'll wear these t-shirts, I think. This, I think, will be just a little bit warm. It'll be a little bit hotter, and not because it's all black, but because, like I said, the material is a thicker pile, and it's actually a little more stretchy, I think you'll notice here. So this is a mix, as where the Mickey Mouse t-shirt is just all cotton. I think this is probably a cotton polyester mix. Now, just to bring the Mickey Mouse t-shirt back into the picture here, just so we can actually make a more detailed comparison, you can actually see the difference between the collars of each t-shirt. The collar on the Mickey Mouse t-shirt is a little bit thicker, or it's a little bit wider in width than the Polaroid neck is. But one thing I actually want to point out here is who makes this t-shirt. Now, you'll notice that this is a Polaroid branded t-shirt, and the Mickey Mouse t-shirt is a Disney branded t-shirt, and both are actually made in different parts of the world. The Mickey Mouse t-shirt is made in Honduras, as where the Polaroid t-shirt is made in Haiti. Drastic difference, very far apart from one another. Both are in South America, I guess you could say, or south of the equator, but different brands, made in different places, but on the same shelf next to one another, and all using roughly the same theme. Like I was saying earlier, Mickey Mouse, Kodak, Polaroid, these are all media and entertainment companies. Even though you might make things with a Polaroid camera, taking pictures, making art, you also use Polaroid cameras to entertain yourself, to take pictures of your friends and family and good times so you can make memories, all of which are part of entertainment. You can see the difference between each shirt, the difference in the cotton here, but one thing I wanted to point out was they're not made from the same company, at least from what I believe, even though they are the same price and on the shelf right next to one another. And momentarily, before we check out our Kodak t-shirt, I just want to show you the back of the t-shirt here. As you can see, there are no graphics on the back of the t-shirt, just the front. It's pretty plain, I would say. And last but not least, before we do our try-on, let's take a look at our Kodak t-shirt. As you can see, what's different about this t-shirt already is it's smaller. This is because it's an extra large. The other two t-shirts were extra large. And another thing I want to point out is this t-shirt is actually the middle ground between the Polaroid t-shirt and the Mickey Mouse t-shirt. It is the same fabric as the Mickey Mouse t-shirt, but it is just a solid color like the Polaroid t-shirt. So again, The Polaroid T-shirt was a thicker, softer pile. I think the Polaroid T-shirt will be a little bit hot if you wear it outside, not because it's black, but because it won't breathe as well. But then again, you get that solid color and high contrast that you get with the Polaroid T-shirt, but over top, a much cooler and comfortable fabric for outdoor wear. Now, another thing I want to talk about here is the theme of digital media, right? Disney makes motion pictures, they have theme parks, Kodak made camera equipment, and so did Polaroid. From what I understand, you can actually post your Polaroid pictures to Instagram now without any loss in quality. It should look exactly as they came out of the Polaroid camera itself. So very cool and fascinating technology here. But I think one common theme amongst all of these brands is their popularity. Now, you're probably thinking to yourself, well, Kodak's out of business, but Polaroid and Disney are still in business. But the point of the matter is here is Kodak is out of business. Polaroid is no longer as popular as it used to be due to the fact smartphones have taken over and other lesser expensive, higher quality digital cameras have become more popular and accessible. And last but not least, Disney has been greatly affected by the pandemic. Less people are showing up at the park, and rightfully so. Less people are being allowed into the park, and rightfully so. And because of all of these factors combined, I would say that these three brands are pretty unpopular. So deciding which of these shirts you'll want to pick out and wear is really a game of politics and economics, because whichever one you go with is the one that you will be sponsoring and supporting. These are all brands that want to come back into the limelight: Polaroid, Kodak, and especially Disney. So just keep that in mind. Let's go ahead and try these on and see how well they fit. Okay guys, so now that we've done the unboxing and first impressions aspect of the video, I've showed you around each t-shirt. We've talked about the similarities and the differences between each t-shirt. We know that they cost $20 each. They do not have a brand. Instead, they are the brand of each respective advertisement on the front of the shirt, and each shirt is either made in one of two places, Haiti or Honduras. We also talked about the material of each shirt. Here, as you can see, I have the Polaroid. This is a much softer pile shirt. It does feel pretty light and airy and comfortable. It feels like it breathes fairly well. You'll also notice that the extra large fits me phenomenally well. It covers up pretty much any little undulations. As you can also tell, it has longer sleeves, and if we actually take a look at the tail of the shirt, you can see that it's a pretty fairly decent length that goes down to about my quad, or my thigh, I guess you could say, about halfway down my thigh. So really comfortable shirt, no itching or scratching. Like I was saying, this extra large Polaroid shirt is a bit of a different material than the other two shirts. I did say that this was softer and a little bit thicker of a pile, but so far it's just as cool as the other t-shirt I was just wearing. Here's what the shirt looks like on me. You can see if I lift my arms out, I really don't lose any material in the arm. It's pretty comfortable underneath the armpits and in the chest, and also in the shoulder. As you can see from the left-hand side and the back. So pretty comfortable, cool shirt. Let's go ahead and see if the other shirts fit any differently. Okay, so here is the Mickey Mouse shirt. This is Disney. This definitely looks like a retro Nike Air shirt, like maybe from the 90s, mid-90s going into the 2000s. Definitely a really cool looking shirt. I love the color schematic with gray, yellow, pink, orange, red neon colors mixed with solid colors like red and black on Mickey Mouse, for example. As you can see, this is an extra large, just like the Polaroid shirt, but I think this fits just a little bit bigger. I think there's a little bit more fabric here. This feels actually thicker. Definitely not as soft, so I think I was correct about that assumption. But overall, still comfortable. Love the graphic. I think the graphic on the front of this shirt is actually bigger than the Polaroid shirt. It does take up quite a bit of space. I think, as you can see here, it starts at the top of my chest and goes down to my stomach here. But you can see for yourself that this is also a really comfortable and nice fitting shirt. The collar is comfortable. It's a nice stretchy spandex cotton mix. You can also see the sleeves themselves actually go down a little bit further, I think, than the Polaroid shirt. They go more down towards my elbows, where the Polaroid shirt was a little bit up past my elbow. And I think if we actually go ahead and put my arms out, you can definitely see that just like the Polaroid shirt, there's plenty of material in the arm, underneath the armpits, in the chest, in the shoulders. Overall, really comfortable. As you can see, the tail of the shirt is similar to the Polaroid shirt as well, going down about halfway past my thigh, I would say. And before we check out our Kodak shirt, just a quick spin around for you guys so you can get a good idea as to what this looks on me. And by the way, I'm about 6'1", 6'2", 205 pounds. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at our Kodak shirt. One thing I want to mention quickly before we talk about the Kodak shirt is the Kodak shirt, like I said earlier, is an in-between shirt, meaning it is in between this shirt and the Polaroid shirt. And last but not least is our Kodak Gold 400 film shirt. This, I think, is a retro shirt, and that is in part due to the color schematic. Not so much the yellow, but definitely the font. And as you can see, you get some light purple here. You get red, which is retro and futuristic. You do get a gold color actually on top of the yellow. Really great contrast. And you also get, I think, a different shade of yellow at the bottom of these stripings here. As you can see, they do stand out against this yellow here. I would say that the yellow on the shirt is actually more of an orange. It does look like school bus yellow, but as you can see, the yellow striping on the shirt itself is a little bit more yellow, I would say, similar to a yellow mustard perhaps. It's just a little bit more organic and a little bit brighter, I think, than maybe a school bus yellow. But without further ado, let's talk about how comfortable this shirt is. It definitely is a comfortable shirt. Doesn't feel scratchy. It's soft. It's not the softest shirt I've ever worn, but it's not itchy and it's not uncomfortable in any way. I think that is in large part due to the fact it has so much material. And by the way, this shirt is an extra large. Our other two shirts, the Mickey Mouse shirt and the Polaroid shirt, they are an extra, extra large. And I think you can see just how well this extra large shirt really does fit. It is very similar in comparison to the extra, extra large shirts. You'll notice that the tail of the shirt, even though this is an extra large, goes down to the exact same length, if not further, but we'll call it the same length. You'll also notice that the sleeves of the shirt are the same length as well. If we go ahead and move our arms out, you can see that I have plenty of room in the shoulders and underneath the armpits and in the chest. It's extremely comfortable. I have no problems moving around and being articulate with it. And it's breathable too. Both shirts, the Mickey Mouse and the Polaroid shirt, were breathable, which my assumption in the beginning of the video was that the Polaroid shirt would be a little bit hotter. That is not the case. This shirt is just as breathable as the other two shirts. And actually, I would say that this material is even slightly different from the other two shirts, even though I do see this as an in-between. Now, one complaint I have about this shirt, and I think you'll notice, was earlier when we were reviewing this shirt on the table, I did say that it was a tad more transparent than the other two shirts. The heather gray has white and black specks and gray specks mixed in to probably hide sweat and other stains and things like that, or moisture. And the Polaroid shirt was all black, so you couldn't really see through that shirt. And with the heather gray shirt, because of the way that it's weaved, I think there is a couple of little areas where maybe it's not as bright or colored as well. I think if you notice at the bottom of the shirt here, the tail, it does look a little bit more transparent than, say, the top of the shirt where the graphics are, such as where it says gold and where this black is and where this Kodak logo is. I think if you look at the bottom, like I said, you can see through it a little bit, but for the most part, it's just as comfortable as the other shirts. I would say it's a little bit less consistent looking, but it's just as comfortable. And actually, this is an extra large and it fits like the extra large, which is surprising. But without further ado, let's go ahead and close out this video. I really do like all three t-shirts. They were all $20, maybe just a little bit too expensive, but these are all great brands. They're American brands: Kodak, Polaroid, Disney. Definitely pick one of these shirts up and support your favorite media company. Anyways, guys, that has been an unboxing and first impressions of 3 different graphic tee I picked up at Macy's for $20 each. Today, we did an unboxing and first impressions and try on. You got to see just how good of quality these shirts were and just how well they fit. As you saw, we had the extra large Kodak shirt and the extra large Disney and Polaroid shirts. I think these are great t-shirts. I think they're a little bit on the pricey side, but they are built well, they're comfortable. What was actually really good to see was the extra large was very similar to the extra large. So you don't have to worry about going up in size or even going down in size for that matter. This will fit pretty consistently along with this shirt here. And last but not least, I really do like that these brands are brands that aren't doing so well right now. So go ahead and show your support for Disney, who is probably struggling because of the pandemic. People aren't going to the theme parks right now. Polaroid, very small brand, but awesome and fun experience taking pictures with their cameras. They make it really easy to post cool photos to social media. They are retro, but again, unfortunately, not as popular. And last but not least, Kodak, a brand who has been pretty much out of business for probably well over 5 years now, is a really cool retro branded graphic t-shirt. Again, they probably want some capital or some money and want you to promote their business. So definitely keep that in mind. These 3 shirts stood out to me because they all have to do with media. Disney makes movies, obviously, and the others are pretty self-explanatory. They make equipment to make media with. Without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and close out this video. I really do like these t-shirts. They fit great. They're built great. They're comfortable. This one might be just a little bit too yellow for me to wear out in public, but then again, like I said, these would also make a great shirt to work out in the yard or sit back and watch a movie one Sunday evening. Without further ado, my name is John. Thank you so much for tuning in. Because I picked up these shirts at Macy's, that does make them a big box good. I really hope you enjoyed this first impressions and try on. Hit that like button, subscribe, hit the bell icon so you get notified when I post to YouTube, and also share this video with friends and family. Once again, thank you so much for tuning in. My name is John. I will see you in the next video.